In April 2025, three snow-white pups took their first steps inside a laboratory in Dallas, Texas. A $10 billion company said they were dire wolves, a predator extinct for over 10,000 years. They were named Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi, after the wolves from a famous fantasy series. Headlines exploded overnight. For the first time in history, one company claimed, an extinct species was restored. But within days, the scientists who study these exact animals were not amazed. They were furious. Because what was born in that lab was not, they argued, a dire wolf at all. To see why, start where the company started. Not with a dire wolf, but with a living grey wolf. They read ancient DNA from two fossils, a tooth 13,000 years old and an ear bone far older. From that, they rewrote the grey wolf's genes. And here is the number at the center of everything. Just 20 edits across 14 genes. A grey wolf carries around 19,000 genes in total. So the dire wolf is a grey wolf with 20 changes, cloned, and carried by a domestic dog. They call the two species 99.5% identical. That still leaves over 12 million differences. The company's own chief scientist said it plainly. Their animals are grey wolves with 20 edits, cloned. So why the bold claim? She leans on an idea called the morphological species concept. Put simply, if it looks like the animal, then it is the animal. Critics did not buy it. One paleoecologist called it a designer dog, a genetically modified grey wolf. The global body that classifies wild canids refused to call these animals dire wolves at all. And there is a deeper problem hiding in the fossil record, one that makes the name itself questionable. Here is the twist. A study found the dire wolf split from other canids almost 6 million years ago. It was more closely related to jackals than to grey wolves, a separate lineage entirely. Some scientists think it may have looked less like a wolf and more like a giant reddish coyote. So, editing a grey wolf to resemble it is a little like painting a dog to look like a fox. If the dire wolf was only a shortcut with an asterisk, why does any of this matter? Because the wolves were never the point. They were a warm-up for a far harder target, the mammoth. You cannot clone a mammoth. There is no living cell, only fragments frozen in Siberian permafrost. So the plan is stranger. Start with the Asian elephant, which shares 99.96% of the DNA. Then rewrite it. The gene list began at 65. Now it is around 85. 25 are done. They are chasing cold tolerance, a shaggy coat, and thick layers of fat beneath the skin. They already proved it on a mouse, a woolly mouse engineered with mammoth-like fur. But an elephant is not a mouse. Its pregnancy runs 22 months, the longest of any mammal. The company aims for embryos by the end of 2026 and a first calf by 2028. But even they admit it. No ancient mammoth DNA goes in. The elephant's genes are only edited to match. What is born will be a cold-adapted elephant that looks like a mammoth in name only. And yet the tools built along the way are real. Artificial wombs now feed human fertility research. The founder calls this the sixth mass extinction and warns half of all biodiversity could vanish by 2050. We may never truly raise the dead, but in trying, we might learn to save the living.